obligation, but you know to listen and pay attention. Let's go to the top 5 teams on the list. Number 5, Tampa Bay is out. Guess who's in? The Indianapolis Colts. Why? You got Phillip Rivers completing 68.5% of his passes. Oh, by the way, the man has only been sacked 9 times this entire season, which means that offensive line is protecting him. Of course, they got a decent running game, but you got with Jonathan Taylor, but you got to look at their defense. Their defense is top 5 in points allowed, top 5 in yards allowed, top 5 against the pass, top 5 against the rush. This defense is legit. They're 7-3. They've been balling last 2 weeks, wins over Tennessee and Green Bay. They deserve our props. The Indianapolis Colts are in the top 5. Put it right there. Let's get to number 4 on the list. There's no change here. The Los Angeles Rams. Why? Because their defense is big time. That's why with Jalen Ramsey, of course with Aaron Donald, the man, Brockers and the crew. We saw once again Tampa couldn't run the football, even though that's nothing new. But they had a tough time passing, even with all those weapons Tom Brady has available to him. Meanwhile, Jared Goff, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, you saw what they did. 23 receptions for 275 yards combined. The Rams are a well-balanced team, legitimate Super Bowl threat, exceptionally well coached by Sean McVay. They're a top 4 team. Let's go to number 3 on the list, please. It's an easy one, y'all. It's a gimme. It's the New Orleans Saints. Why? Even without Drew Brees, Taysom Hill comes into that game and gives you something Drew Brees could never give you. That's the ability to run the football effectively, to be a threat moving the change, score 2 touchdowns on runs. That is Taysom Hill. Threw the ball decently well, completed 78% of his passes, still got Michael Thomas, still has Emmanuel Sanders, still has Alvin Kamara, and that defense is no joke in New Orleans either. They're a top 3 team. Let's go to number 2 on the list. Are you ready? It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because they're the reigning Super Bowl champions. They're 9-1. Patrick Mahomes is that dude. Make no mistake about it. You saw my brother from another mother, Travis Kelce, balling, Tyreek Hill and the crew. You know what they bring to the table, but they did struggle against the Las Vegas Raiders, and they needed the heroics of Patrick Mahomes with Travis Kelce and those boys to come on through. I didn't like that about them. I thought there was a little slippage there that they deserved it, but really it wasn't slippage on their part. It's the fact that I'm elevating this team number 1, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers at 10-0. Why? I just told you they 10-0. That's why Big Ben Roethlisberger, top 5 in the league as far as I'm concerned at the quarterback position. You see Claypool, you see Juju Smith-Schuster, you see James Washington, you see DeAndre Johnson, you see all of these brothers, what they're doing, and you know that defense is real. It's legit. It's big time. They are undefeated, and they went there and treated the Jacksonville Jaguars like the bye week they are supposed to be. They handled them 27-3. I've got them as number 1 on my list. So from 1 to 5, the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Saints, the Rams, and the Indianapolis Colts as my top 5 teams in the National Football League after Week 11. Floor is yours.
I wanted to say this is your first Stevens A list because I saw the Colts. I said, ooh, Stephen A is on it. Rams at 4. Oh, Stephen A, 2 for 2. 3 for 3 with the Saints. Here it comes, Stevens A and B list. You're not putting the Steelers ahead of the Chiefs. Will you stop that? Everyone knows the Chiefs are the best team in football. I don't care about their flaws. They got Patrick Mahomes. Steelers ain't beating no Chiefs. No one's beating the Chiefs. Almost there. Jeff Saturday, I've seen some D and C lists. I thought this was going to be an A, but I can only give it a B.
See, here's the thing. This is what Stephen A does, right? Well, I come on early in the show and he gives this whole soliloquy about me being up there to beat him up. So what's he do, Max? He sugars me in with the Indianapolis Colts. He knows. He knows. He put them on the list. He's like, hey, I'm going to throw a little piece offering out to my man Saturday because usually he stomps on my list and he does this kind of stuff. Right. So he's protecting himself. Here's the other thing about Stephen A. He's a smart man now. He is a smart man. Why did he put the Steelers at 1? Because he just saw 2 of the Ravens' best players not be able to play Thursday. So he feels pretty confident, right? He can step out now. He can step out a little bit. Bring it out just a hair, because he's been real scared. He's been real scared, even being that fan, to step out and jinx him. So he feels like the jinx is off. He doesn't have to worry as much about Thursday night's game. So he's like, you know what? This is my week, right? It's no different than a coach waiting to put the backup quarterback in and make him a starter after the bye week. This is what Stephen A. just did, right? He just slid it in there. I will say this, though. Of all the trash lists that I've seen, Stephen A. went and redeemed himself. This is a great list. It's an A list,
wow.
Stephen A. You did a good job. This is your best work.
Wow.
And it's because you sugar me with the Colts and the way you manipulate it. Listen, I give you credit. There's a reason there's a reason that you stay on every day and people tune in. You know how to scratch the ear of Jeff Saturday. You did it today. I'm just gonna let you know. You got the A list, Stephen A.
Brady struggled last night, Monday Night Football. Jeff, I want to start with you with this question here. If the Bucs fail this year, with all the talent on both sides of the ball, is it Tom Brady's fault?
No. This will be an organizational failure if they don't do it because of this year. I mean, I think if you're looking at, you are forcing a situation right now. You are seeing that Tom Brady is not making the plays down the field that your offense demands. So what changes can you make? Because you're still loaded on defense. I know they didn't play great last night against Jared Goff, but they still held him to 27 points and got 2 turnovers. So those teams can usually stay in. But you got to find a way to put some fire in this offense, whether that's bringing it down to more intermediate or check down type throws, whatever you have to do, and then establish the run. You know, without protection and trying to throw the ball deep, Tom Brady has not been the same guy his whole career, much less at 40 plus years old. So in my opinion, it will not just be on Tom Brady. There's enough blame to go around.
With the exception of the
Look, go ahead, Stephen A.
Listen, with the exception of 2018, Bruce Arians has been a head coach in this football league since 2012. What's the problem? What's wrong with expecting more from him? The fact of the matter is that you got Tom Brady, you got Antonio Brown, you got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and Gronk and Brate. Even with O.J. Howard being out for the season, you still got Leonard Fournette, you got Ronald Jones. What's the problem? Or at least you had Ronald Jones before last night. I hope he's all right. The bottom line is this. You've got a multitude of weapons, okay? And you've got Todd Bowles coaching a defense in a respectable enough fashion for us to think that you have a chance. What is the problem holding Bruce Arians accountable to at least to the degree that we hold Tom Brady accountable? I have no problem with that.
Yeah, no one holds Tom Brady accountable apparently except for me. Guys, Bruce Arians was good enough with a quarterback who's a third stringer this year. Jameis Winston's a third string quarterback. He went to a new team. He's not, the starter goes down. He's not starting, right? Like he's a third stringer. That's the honest truth right now. They went 7-9 last year, and we all said, you just put a competent quarterback, not going to turn the ball over 30 times, throw 30 interceptions. They'll be at least 9-7, maybe 10-6. Oh, there's Tom Brady, maybe 10-6, 11-5. Here it comes. Super Bowl favorites out of the NFC. Jeff Saturday, you were talking about they have defense. By the way, you're right. Arians doesn't run the ball enough, but they're getting pretty good run blocking. They have receivers everywhere you look. They have guys who get yards after the catch. Look at Mike Evans yesterday, even with